I'm Rich Bees.
My name is Khadijah RBZ.
I'm Kalia.
I'm Kaya.
Trey BZ.
And this is the truth about Teambz.
Teambz.
And this is the truth about Teambz. This is the truth about Teambz.
Who is Teambz?
Who is Teambz? Okay,
Teambz is my fam.
Is a family of 5.
A father, a mother, and 3 kids who are now young adults.
Teambz is the epitome of love, grace, and hope. This family of 5 made a decision to live life full and abroad.
And we each have our own talents, which help put this great team together.
We work together. We have a business together. We're building a brand together.
And are basically poised to take over when it comes to this audiovisual production world.
If you would have asked me like a while ago who Teambz was, I would say that we were like hard workers, you know, just living life, taking things one day at a time. But now we're like world travelers.
Mommy came up with something before and she said, Teambz is a funny, focused, fearless force.
The force to be reckoned with.
We're a force, we are a team, and we push the team environment and have done that since day one.
And while I was thinking over the questions before, that's the first thing that came to my mind, and I was like, maybe I'll just say that. But if I'm thinking about what I would say Teambz is, I would probably say we're just a very tight-knit family who just has big dreams, and we plan to achieve them all.
Just take on anything, really. Nothing is too much for us.
We are what we've been to so many and what God is to us.
What events have taken place in your life that has shaped who you are?
I don't really know how to answer that question.
I think what probably shaped me is like poetry and performing on stages, because I just love talking to people and I love being in front of people, and I like sharing my story with people.
Just because events are still happening in my life that are changing, you know, you, me, the whole family.
Life itself, I guess. That's not really like explaining anything, but just, I guess, the way I was raised, things I was taught.
Before we started traveling, it was more so like I was just a regular teenage girl, and I think what probably shaped most of who I am today and what my life I think is probably school.
I've been influenced by, like, or that impacted the way I am today. It's just like school.
Because that's where I was, like, every day, all I cared about was school. All I cared about was my grades. I cared about how good I was in school. You know, all that was my life, and I was striving to be in the top of my class, which I still am, and to go to college and to strive there and go in the world and, you know, just get a job. And that was really whack. It was a really whack thing, because it's not like I was like gonna limit myself, like I'm gonna work for somebody else, like maybe be a CEO, you know, whatever. But that was my life, and I think stepping out of that and traveling with my family and leaving North Carolina, which is all I knew, was probably what shaped my life the most drastically.
This is the truth about Teambz.
Coming up next on Teambz International.
Because when I grew up, I didn't even think that I would make it to see adulthood, actually. I don't know why. It wasn't like I was living, in the hood or anything like that, but it was really when I got burned in the fire that I realized that, okay, hold on, I am still here and there must be something bigger.
Buy our merch, teambz.com.
This is the truth about Teambz.
What events have taken place in your life that has shaped who you are?
There have been many events that have taken place in my life to shape who I am today. Being a wife, being a mom, experiencing friendships come, friendships go.
Well, there's quite a bit, because where I grew up from, my family, well, my dad was in the military, I'll put it that way. Let's start there. My dad was in the military, and so we flew all across, the world, lived in multiple places, and that is really what is the basis for who I am and the team in general, and why we are doing what we're doing, because it was those events, it was those being able to move around, every 2 to 4 years, meeting new people and doing new things that I've always longed for since I was young.
Just living, but I think that everything, all the little things have created or contributed to who I am today.
That made me want to take the team and do bigger things. And then when I got burned in the fire, that whole situation
I think it was 2001, 2002. We experienced a fire, and with that fire, we pretty much lost everything that we had. We had the clothes on our backs, like literally. And Rich and Kaya were in the house at the time, and they were able to get out of the house through the back window, and Rich sustained second and third degree burns to his arms, to his face. And through that situation, I realized that there was a strength within the both of us that we didn't really know was there. It's like sometimes tough times is what it takes for you to realize how strong that you really are. And through that situation, I was able to see a strength and a resiliency in him that I didn't know existed.
When I was burned in the fire, that whole situation really changed my outlook on life. It changed my outlook on what I thought I was gonna be, and how long I was gonna last, if you will. Because when I grew up, I didn't even think that I would make it to see adulthood, actually. I don't know why. It wasn't like I was living, in the hood or anything like that, but it was really when I got burned in the fire that I realized that, okay, hold on, I am still here and there must be something bigger, because that whole situation with the fire could have taken me out. I'll say it that way. It could have taken me out. So as a result of that, That's what even put me up in the Raleigh-Durham area, you know? So that was really what changed my life and made me who I am. This is the truth about Teambz.
Coming up next on Teambz International.
I'm the video editor on Teambz. I am. Now, Daddy would like to say that he's, you know, the video editor, but we kind of go back and forth about it.
Buy our merch, teambz.com.
This is the truth about Teambz.
What part do you play on the team?
A wife and a mommy.
Father, right? First and foremost. Husband.
From a technical standpoint, I'm the video editor on Teambz. I am. Now, Daddy would like to say that he's, you know, the video editor, but we kind of go back and forth about it, and I think as life progresses and we continue to take on more projects, we'll really see who's the real video editor.
I'm like the floater, I guess, because I can kind of do like everything. So it's like if help is needed in making a graphic or editing a video or advertising, it's like I can kind of just do all of it.
I am a graphic designer.
I'm a proofreader. I'm a writer. I'm a video editor when I need to be. I'm just whatever I need to be when I need to be it.
Visionary. I would really have to say the visionary. The person that's able to prepare in advance for things that are coming up in the future.
I don't know, family standpoint, I think that I'm probably, everybody has their role and everybody is a piece of the puzzle, and I think my piece is probably just keeping the group uplifted, keeping everybody laughing. That's something that we need a lot because this life can be very stressful. Like mommy, she'll do her mantras.
The one who encourages people to meditate and eat right.
Little do you know, Daddy does meditation and Trey makes jokes.
Like sometimes I'm making jokes, sometimes I'm serious.
But I'm just the oldest daughter, getting it how I live it.
What do you like least about living life as global nomads with your family?
Well, sometimes it's kind of like you miss having a set place that you're supposed to be.
When you don't really know where you're stepping next, and we've given up everything it is that we know to live life from a place of the unknown. But sometimes that's like really scary.
We're always together all the time, and you don't really have your own place. Like I had my own bed in a room it was shared, but it was mine nonetheless.
I don't think there's any one thing that probably I'm just like, that immediately comes to mind and I'm like, oh my gosh, this just makes nomad life suck.
It's probably the moments of uncertainty.
Having a certain routine, because like you wake up in the morning, go to school, come back home, do some work, and then repeat. So it's like you kind of really don't have a set schedule.
I can't say that I mean, there is a least, but it's still not bad. You know what I mean?
I'd have to say that we are around each other a lot, which could seem good, but sometimes is a little bit less than good.
We're kind of living life on a day-to-day basis. So you kind of just really have to figure out these things on a day-to-day basis.
I don't like that we're going from hotel to hotel in Airbnbs and we don't have our own place, you know? Just having to I don't know. I just don't really like that not having our own place, but that's part of the job, part of the experience.
This is the truth about Teambz.
Coming up next on Teambz International.
So there's things about us that we didn't know was there until we had to tap into that part of ourselves.
Buy our merch, teambz.com.
This is the truth about Teambz.
Do you think this was a good choice for you individually, and how?
From an individual perspective, I do believe our decision to live as global nomads was a good decision. I really do think that.
Well, I do think it was a good choice because it gives me time while I'm still young to be able to explore the world and not have to wait until like I'm like 40.
I never really wanted to be tied down in one area, even when I was young. Like once we came to North Carolina, and I felt stuck in North Carolina, and I never really wanted to be here. Meaning, I didn't want to like stop here. I wanted to come in, and then we leave again in 2 to 4 years. That's what I was used to.
Yeah. I think that's it. I mean, I don't understand how that could be bad. Like, leaving your space can be scary and it can be intimidating, and immersing yourself in someone else's culture can only be good because you're learning more, you're expanding your knowledge, because there's only but so much you'll learn staying in one place.
It's definitely for me. That's all I can say. It's definitely for me.
I do, just because I get to experience other people's countries and other people's cultures and see how they get to live life.
When you leave that space, then it can only do good things for you. So yeah, it was a plus.
I think that, and our first stop has been Costa Rica. I think that in the time that we were in Costa Rica, we were able to really go inward and learn more about ourselves. So there's things about us that we didn't know was there until we had to tap into that part of ourselves. And I don't think that if we were living in Durham at the time, as much as we might like Durham and the life that we had here, I don't think that if we were here, if we were in Durham, that we would have been able to extract those things about ourselves.
We out.
We out.
We out.